for joining us. Hi, Casey. Hi. We are going to be having a discussion today around the guide and what a little like sneak peek, I guess, to what will be inside of it. We're going to discuss a little bit about how to build a brand from scratch. We're going to go over partnering with creators and other brands. We are going to talk about pricing yourself, and if anybody else wants to come up and share anything or ask any questions. And if you notice that in the chat box, we do have the prompt. So if you are interested to join us, you can come on up. Or if you are interested in buying the guide today, you can save $100 and get started on the journey to growing your personal brand in 2022. So there's a number of you in here right now, so I will get started. First of all, those of you that are seeing me and meeting me for the first time, I am Jessica Gonzalez, aka the Mommy Jane on Instagram, and I partnered with Tokeativity to create a guide that I wish was written for me. I created something that needed to be created for not only our industry, but for content creators in general. I feel like it is such a new industry. Both the cannabis industry and social media advocacy and influencing is so brand new that we're all kind of trying to figure it out along the way. Now, I know you guys can go through the course and go through 5 years of experience and go through all the Googles that you want to try and find all of this information. It is clearly available through experience and through Google. But wouldn't you rather have a nice step-by-step guide bringing you through each step of your journey to finding your brand? So first and foremost, obviously all of you are in here because you have an interest in the cannabis industry, or you're already in the cannabis industry, or maybe you're feeling like you're kind of stuck in a rut and you really want to like kind of reinvent yourself for the years to come. Okay. Anytime is a good time to buy this guide, if you ask me, whether you are, like I said, new to this, in it, or have been doing it for a while. This is more than just a influencer book. It is a wonderful way to discover who you are, your message, and what you can do for others so that you can stay strong when the industry gets tough. And those of you already know, hi, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Oh my goodness. Happy 420. Amanda, it is such a pleasure to see you in here. It's an honor. And speaking of, actually, I had the pleasure of being on a panel with Amanda a couple of years ago. So those of you that are interested in this journey, I want you to look around today at the people you're meeting. I want you to consider the connections that you are making and start putting out these seeds for yourself. Start planting these seeds. Amanda is such a powerhouse in the industry, and it was like a bucket list of mine to be able to even be in the same room of hers, let alone be on a panel and discuss cannabis and wellness with other women. So all of you know in this room today, I know it's a virtual room, anything is possible. Anything can happen. And we're going to talk about how we can get you there today. So first and foremost, cannabis advocacy is so important. It's such an important part of breaking the stigma. So every single one of you have a story to share. And I always say education is destigmatization, because the lack of education is what causes this ignorance and this misunderstanding and this misconception of who we are as cannabis consumers. And as we've discovered either today or in our journey through discovering this plant, it's everyone. It's mothers, it's sisters, it's aunts, it's grandmas, it's people you would expect, it's people you wouldn't expect, and everybody has a story to share. Now, in my personal opinion, I wish everyone that uses cannabis could become advocates and could share their products, but I understand that's asking a lot from society. So what do we do instead? We create a community, and Tokeativity has done an amazing job cultivating that. And we learn and go through the steps along the way and help each other grow. So those of you that purchase a guide today, you will not only be receiving the guide $100 off, I will be working with you one-on-one. Tokeativity will be working with you, and we will be guiding you along with the guide. It's like we're going to be coming at you in all ends in order to make sure that you succeed. And there's so many surprises along the way. I don't want to give away everything just yet, but I do want to ensure you that we're not just going to hand you this guide and be like, good luck, bye, see you in a couple of years, hopefully. No, this guide is to empower you. This guide is to be a tool in your toolbox along the way. And you might get this guide and think, well, I've already created my logo. I don't need to read that section. Well, you might find something about logos you never considered before. So in my opinion, I feel like the whole guide is very important and worth the read. And it is fatty. It is 85 pages. This is a beefy guide full of goodness, full of love, full of even prompts to kind of help you journal. So I highly suggest, if you do buy this guide, to buy a journal along the way, because I will be asking you, even today, I will be asking you some things, and write things down as they come to you in downloads. That's where I got the idea for the Mommy Jane. I was meditating and the name just came, and I checked, and we'll get to that in a second because names are important too, but that's a whole nother thing. So back at where we're starting. So why is it important that we are here? Advocacy is what's going to educate. Advocacy is what's going to show other women and other people, mothers, hopefully, that yes, cannabis is wellness. Yes, you can make positive changes at any time. And these are the products and these are the ways that you can get there. And it's up to us. We have the experience, and it's not going to be their doctors that are going to show them. And it's nothing against the doctors, is that the doctors aren't educated either. So we already know enough about the endocannabinoid system to know that it's worthy. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this room right now. So how can we improve our education, and how can we improve our lives by improving the lives of others? Now, I want you to today and for the rest of the week, start considering what you value. Take a look around at your house, look at your family, look at how you spend your time. What is important to you? Make a list of the things that are so important to you, what you either covet or love or work hard towards. Everybody's working for the weekend. Well, what else are you working for? What is so important to you? For me, my values are obviously my family, my mental health, and to ensure that we normalize this plant for other moms out there. Let's get specific. Obviously, I have followers of all kinds, but I really value the mothers. I feel like we are underrepresented in so many ways, especially in cannabis. And I really hope today and starting now and starting with this guide that we can change that big time. Okay. I'm going to see what the comments are saying. Hi, everyone. Excuse me. I'm just going to do a little scroll down. Hi, Joan from HQ. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that for the compliment. I love what I'm doing too. I hope I can inspire all of you to do all these lovely things so that you can get on panels with the people you love, or have a 40-minute session sharing what you know to help others grow. And yes, feel free to use the conversation or join the conversation and use the blue share audio thing. I'm just going to keep looking and see if anyone's tried to get in. Tokeativity has put the link in for the guide. Those of you that haven't caught that yet, I love that there's interest for the guide in here, and I do love the energy in here as well. Thank you, Sabrina, for saying that. And hi, Joy. Hi, everyone. And it looks like we have Leah. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm just going to click on the name, and this is my first time doing this, but we all learn together, and you've always learned with me. So I pushed the plus button. I don't know if I did something wrong. All right. Well, I don't see anyone popping up. Maybe Leah changed her mind. Okay. That's okay. If you guys change your mind and you want to come on in here, I would love to have you up here. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking about the things that I want to focus on today. And if there's anything that comes up while I'm talking, put it in the comments and I will answer that with the time that's allotted. The Easter alcoholism post. Oh, that's another thing that I'm really glad you brought that up. That's another value of mine. It is so important for us to share our truth. And you know what? Not all of you are going to be here comfortable sharing your personal life. That's fine. You can still be an advocate and not share so many details of your life. But for me personally, it was important and it was relevant for my content, for my audience and all of that. So, and obviously, Liv, you mentioned that it was a a big post for you, and it was for a lot of people. The feedback on that was amazing. Okay, Desiree. Am I closing people out? Oh, okay, never mind. I got it this time. Woo! All right. I got to unmute you, or maybe you unmute yourself. Let's see. I don't know if this is like Zoom. I'm going to unmute, I think. Maybe you got to agree. I think you have to agree to the unmuting. This is very exciting. I can see you, though. We can see you perfectly. We just have to unmute you. Oh, hi. Were you going to come on, Lee? It was Lee. Oh, my goodness. Lee. I know. Excuse me. I know. I never know with the GH. Miss you too. Desiree, I can't hear you yet. I don't know what's going on here. Unmute for me. Yeah, it's saying unmute. I don't know why it's... I am trying to figure this out. We have a third person coming in. Okay. Maybe one of you will be able to get some... I'm trying to unmute, but I have no idea what's going on here. Maybe... It's like one of those turn it on, turn it off back. This never works for me. Okay. Well, maybe you guys can type your question in the chat, Desiree, and then I will answer it. If that works for you. I don't know. Okay. So go back to like what we were saying, what your values are. My story was that I lost a tremendous amount of weight and helped my postpartum depression and postpartum everything that I was feeling, because God, we feel a lot after having kids and while we're having kids, and we don't talk about that enough. So if any of you are out there and are comfortable talking about that, my goodness, I would love for advocates to start to talk about what it's, current depression and postpartum depression. What was it? Britney Spears just talked about it. I don't know the term. Not prenatal depression, but maybe it's prenatal depression. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but wait, can you guys hear me? Now I'm nervous. Desiree, can you hear me at all? Can you guys all hear me? Okay, Liv, you can hear me. Okay, good. I was kind of nervous for a second that no one can hear me. Okay, great. So values, okay? Write those values down and rank those values 1 to 10. If you can get like at least 10 values throughout this week, those will help you so much. When those days when you're trying to figure out content to post, or you're going along the guide and you're writing your mission statement and you don't know what to put, or you're trying to come up with a good name because the one you have is just getting lost in all the Marys and all the Janes, and you don't want to add a 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1 at the end of it because you want it to look professional. Look, I get it. I understand. So go through your life, like I said, evaluate, make the checklist, and that will be a huge start for making your foundation for your page and your content and just getting like the flow of things. Okay. When it comes down to your friends and family support, that's a really tough one. I wish that I had more support personally. After all these years, I'm still not very supported, but to me, and this may not resonate with all of you, my story is so much bigger than what my friends and family think of me talking about cannabis. If I lose friends and family along the way, then that's fine. If my husband is not going to be supportive of what I do, that's fine. I need to support myself, and I need to work on myself, and I need to make sure that I'm strong, which is why communities like this are super important. So for those of you that are advocating and you do feel like you lack support and your family treats you like the black sheep, or I like to call it the green sheep, then these communities like Tokeativity are where you want to connect. This is where you lean in when you feel like you're about to fall down. This is where you lean in for advice. When I was going through my trademark issues, it was Tokeativity on the phone with me, Bianca of High Society Mama. These women that I connect with. They are the ones that are going to be your strength for when you're not feeling so strong. So all of you here today, know how important that this room is and the events that Tokeativity creates. This is the backbone to our industry, and we need to remember that. So I'm going to check and see if Desiree put anything in the chat. No, Lee, I don't know if you're planning on coming on to say anything. I don't know. I would love to have you guys chat, but I completely understand if it's technical issues and all that stuff. Okay. And I'm just going to keep going. So yeah, these communities are are great. They're great for brainstorming. They're great for collaborations. They're great for when you're looking for work. I would be lost without these women here today, including all of you that are here as well. So we need that to grow. We need it to grow. I for a long time didn't understand the value and the importance of female relationships. And, you know, I got burned in the past too. So I had trust issues, and we'll get to that in a little bit because I do want to talk about red flags, because that can also bring us down in our industry too, is getting burned and having that trust so that we can build those strong female bonds that are healthy, that are going to be beneficial, that are going to help us multiply. We need to change that 15%. It was devastating this year to know that on Women's Day, we had significantly dropped like 50% of our numbers, more than that. You know, we were darn near 50% when I first started 5 years ago, and that we are at 15.15 is terrifying. You know, and I have nothing against our counterparts. I want everyone to succeed, but man, I feel like the patriarchy has had control of every industry for so long. This plant is female. If you've ever looked at the endocannabinoid system, you will see that a lot of receptors are in our female reproductive system. Okay. That's not a coincidence. In my heart of hearts, women should be leading this industry hands down. And this is not up for a debate. This is literally like what I truly believe today and will always believe. And that's why I appreciate all of you being here today, because that is really, really important. So snapping fingers. Yes. I love all these yeses. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. And I realize this going when I go to events, every time I go to events and I see people for the first time discovering products and realizing that cannabinoids can be consumed through macarons and tinctures and olive oil and hot sauce and all these ways that we would never have guessed 5 years ago. It is a detriment that we share how we use our lifestyle on a daily basis. It's important if we try new products that we give honest feedback. You know, if the thing puts you straight to sleep and it was meant to energize you and make you creative, you need to let people know. I lose a lot of followers and a lot of brands don't like me and don't like working with me because I don't give a fuck. I will give my honest opinion on everything. And if a brand doesn't treat me right, I will talk about it. I'm a very honest human. And I came here to kind of like not clean up this industry because it's not my job, but be the mom where it's like, hey, sit up straight, get your elbows off the table. Like that kind of energy. I'm the mom energy where it's like, creators need to get paid. Why is this happening? Why aren't we treating farmers better? All those little things. I just want to like bring to light the dusty parts of the industry that we can clean up. And if we all work together, then it's not a one-person job. This is a community outreach where we work together and knowing damn well that, you know, we shouldn't be inhaling butane all the time, you guys. We should be using more hemp and all these other things that are going to move it towards the wellness industry that it deserves to be at. And I'm not knocking anybody. I've inhaled thousands of gallons of butane in my lifetime. I'm just saying, I'm setting examples, okay, for the future of health and wellness. So when we share that coconut oil in our oatmeal has CBN in it and it calms our nerves and helps us sleep, and we share that THC tincture is doing wonders for our back pain and our cancer treatment, then we are normalizing it. We are showing that we are the librarian down the street and we are the check stand clerk down the street that goes to work and is still able to medicate and still able to conduct life and still be good citizens, which is also really important for when we do decide to become public figures or put ourselves out there. What are we doing to better this industry? I did a lot of beach cleanups in the beginning with War on Trash, and I do what I can to recycle, reduce, reuse every single box and glass container that I own. So not only is it important for us to share our products and share our lifestyle, but we also need to show how we are making it sustainable as well, because reality, the cannabis industry is not very sustainable. It's actually horrifying how much of a loss it is when we look at it. So we have to do our part as a community. We have to do our part as advocates, as influencers, as content creators, whatever you want to call yourself. And if you're a brand in here today and you're in here, what are you doing to make these changes? Okay. Thank you, Heather, for saying that. And it's true. I did work hard for this. And I for years, I was wondering what it was all for. And then a couple years ago, when Lisa reached out and was like, she heard me on a live and I was talking about, God, I wish there was a freaking guide because I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. And she suggested, okay, you write that guide. Let's do this. I thought this is what it was all for. All this chaos, all this wondering, all this struggle was so that you guys struggle less, so that I can streamline you to where I am. I don't want you to have to go through 5 years of article reading and YouTube watching and buying courses. God, I've spent so much money and time on getting to where I am today that I'm grateful that I can condense it into a little nugget for all of you guys, and we can just get more of you on board and up to pace, because I can't do this alone. I really, really can't. And I don't want to either. And using your platform for good. Thank you, Lee. Yes. Yes. Thank you for saying that. Yes, thank you, Heather. Using your platform for good. Exactly. So, and hey, I'm not saying, go start a bashing page and start trash talking brands and all that stuff. What I like to do is I like to do what everybody else does. I sandwich the comment. Okay. I do compliment. I do the criticism. I do the compliment. Hey, this is what I really loved about this brand. And even if it's just the packaging, even if the only thing you can say is, I like the font, then you say that nice thing, because we have to give people feedback so that they can focus on what's working for them and then fix what's not. So if we look at this and I'm like, gosh, I really hate that the first ingredient is sugar and the second ingredient is corn syrup. Why are we still doing this when this is supposed to be our medicine? Then maybe, hopefully, the brand sees it and goes, next time around, let's work around and use something else. Let's see what other alternatives are out there. I'd like to think they see our pages and they listen to the patients, because that's who's buying their product. And that is who's going to share it with their neighbor, their actual neighbor and their virtual neighbor. Tell your neighbors, your virtual ones too. Let them know that cannabis is wellness and that they too can have an awesome mocktail with some CBD and THC, and they'll be feeling groovy for about an hour, and they're not going to have a hangover, and you can call it the end of the night, right? It's about the lifestyle. I know it sounds like very cheesy, but it really, when it comes down to it, it's the lifestyle that we are creating. And, are we spending quality time with our family, or are we always glued to our phones? Are we taking social media breaks so that our family doesn't think that our lives revolve around our social media? That's a slippery slope. When you become an advocate, you need to draw the line when you're at home. Otherwise, you're working from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you have no boundaries. And then your kids are resentful, and then your husband's resentful. And it becomes like this thing where you don't know when you're working and when you're at home. So that's another very important topic that you need to figure out before you start. And if you've already started, evaluate yourself. Is your phone on the table at dinner? Are you bringing your phone to hang out with your friends, or can you leave it in your purse? When you're with those people that you care about, show them, because they're going to start to question everything. It's such a scrutinized industry on so many levels. But when you decide to become an advocate in this industry, influencer, content creator, the microscope is on you even more. And people are going to always look for you to slip up, whether it's false information or the wrong pronunciation of a word or the wrong product or the wrong terpene or whatever it is. You've got to be aware. You have to know your shit. And I'm not saying be perfect. I'm not saying you're not going to make mistakes. You're going to absolutely make mistakes, but just know that there's always going to be someone watching. Even if you have only 10 followers, one of them is going to have an opinion on the things that you say, and you're just going to have to stay strong, which is why your values are important, like I mentioned earlier, which is why having those communities is important. Oh my gosh. Am I?
Hi. Surprise. We let ourselves in. I hope you don't mind.
We've just been listening and be like,
shut me up. I'll go on for 40 more minutes if I don't stop.
No. You're amazing. We just actually, we had sent a request right when you were saying, where you were like, you don't have to do it alone. We were like, we're here. And then it was like, dang, we can't get in there. And like, Gosh, part of the digital connection can be some of those little funny glitches, but we are here together. And oh my gosh, Jessie, you are amazing. Thank you so much for collaborating with us on this epic project that is so inspiring. And, you know, when we talk about normalizing cannabis, it's really important that each of us is bringing our unique selves to the table, because like you were just saying, each one of us inspires other people. All of us have circles around us. We influence everybody we meet. So if you're feeling called to that, like, no, cannabis is safe, cannabis is a tool, this is wrong, all of these things, you have a voice and you can make a difference in your own community and online if you so choose, and even further than that, you know. But yeah, what an amazing time to be alive.
It's very cool. Yes, and we're so excited. We're stoked beyond belief to like launch this product together, help as many women and individuals as possible. Like you said at some point in time, and I said earlier today, you know, we've learned from years of experience, so you don't have to repeat our mistakes.
Yeah.
And also we're all learning together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oof. I'm so glad that you said that part. It really, that is the thing. If we can just like trim the fat and just get to the meat and just dig in together, we can feast. All of us can have a seat at the table.
Yeah, it's cool. We have knowledge, and the more that that the community who cares about these certain pillars of how the industry is continuing to build, you know, we need to be sharing with each other right now. I just feel that so strongly. That's like that's what Tokeativity is about. It's that mycelial network of information that before you even see the fruit, there is shit happening, you know? So like, as you know, as this new plant medicine industry, it isn't just cannabis. There's now psilocybin, and there's other substances, natural substances, synthetic substances. Either way, you know, we're all on our own journey of trying to kind of navigate this really wild existence that no one actually totally knows what's up with. Like, I like how people like to be like, I know why we're here. And it's like, no, you don't. You have your theory just like you do. But what we can do is like tap into collective consciousness, tap into what's happening right now, this movement right now, get to know each other, have these conversations. We just keep leveling each other up. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Oh, gosh, this was amazing. I'm so glad you popped in. That makes me feel, this is what I mean, everybody. This is exactly what I mean. The support, it's unexpected. It's unconditional. It's the best. Mm-hmm. It's the best.
Well, we love you. We'll let you continue doing your thing. We're so excited. And
what the heck? I need another 10 minutes. I'm just kidding.
You've got time.
Yeah.
You've got time. We're going to jump off. You keep chatting.
10 minutes. And then we'll meet you all on the
main
stage.
Okay. I'll make it fast, you guys. There's a lot. I didn't realize how fast it was going to go. Happy 420. Best team ever. Honestly, it is so full circle for me. Those of you that follow me, you already know this. This is a big, very big full circle. And Doreen, my bud vase, thank you so much again for starting me on that journey. And back at this, actually, I'm glad I brought this up. Remember those women. They were just mentioning that everybody has a circle, and my circle was really fucking small in the beginning, but it was really significant. I only had like Doreen and maybe 2 other people in SoCal, but man, were those people all I needed. All it takes is just one, and they will put you under their wing, and you let mama take care of you. You just go with it and you roll with it, and we just multiply like that. That's how we break the stigma. Also, within this industry, I hate hearing how much people don't feel like they're supported. I hate hearing catty bullshit drama in the DMs. I want people to be like, wow, things used to be so crazy years ago, but things are changing. Things are stronger now. We couldn't be better. I want us to be part of this. I want us to hear this today or whenever you're listening to this video. And I want you to feel empowered that change can happen today. It can happen now. And it's already happening because you're here. Make that choice. Make that choice that we will break the stigma, not only with cannabis, but women in weed. Women in weed are all we need when it comes down to it. Okay. We need each other. We will, like the mycelium connection that Sam was just talking about, we will not be able to survive if we don't link together. We will break off and that link will get really weak and slowly fade away. But if we're bonded and I'm starting to feel a little weak, that one's going to come back in and be like, oh, don't you go anywhere. You're not going anywhere. And then hopefully another hand comes and goes, let's just make you even stronger. I'm going to come on this side to make sure that you stay even stronger. Okay. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Thank you, Sabrina. I see all of you in the comments. Thank you for your feedback. Desiree, I love that you stayed the whole time regardless. That is the energy I want. This is it. This is it. Sometimes we don't have our voice, but we just show up and that's all that matters. Okay. So I want you guys all to remember this. And don't lose access to your page because of the content that you post. I am on my final warning. I applied for my blue check mark last month. And I went to go look at my update. I'm like, oh, let's go see the update. And it said your account status is you're about to be demonetized and you're on your last warning. I was like, well, first of all, I haven't even monetized this place yet because you guys keep deleting everything I post. However, the fact that I'm on a final warning is a scary thing. So don't make the mistakes that I do. And I've even had chamomile posts get reported. Chamomile, what the heck? So there are haters out there. People are reporting. I don't know if they're in the industry that hate us or in the pharma industry or alcohol industry, or if it's really the theory that AI is just busting through herbal photos, getting us. We don't know. But all I'm saying is after all this is said and done, don't go buy this guide and spend a year working with me in Tokeativity and then post a thong and bong photo that's going to get you on your last warning. Okay. Get an OnlyFans if you want to do photos like that. Get a Patreon. Why not monetize it even more, honey? Give yourself even more reason to make yourself valuable, okay? Instagram is not worth it when it comes down to it. And there's no amount of money from a partner that is going to be worth it to jeopardize your page. Remember, those brands put in their contracts that they are not affiliated with you. If the FTC comes cracking down, not their problem. Okay. So please be mindful. Protect yourself. You can always say no. And business in the front, party in the back. Okay. Oh, Melissa Bloomfield. She is an artist in our industry. She created buds and brushes, and it's an event that donates to charity. And that was her hashtag. Oh no. Looks like there's more to the story. Melissa Bloomfield got her post taken down because it says cannabis gives back. Okay, exactly. You've noticed I don't use the C word. I use symbols. We can find ways around this, and I'll talk about this more when we meet up every month, okay? Because I do believe it's monthly. We're going to be meeting up. Don't quote me on this yet, but I think that's what it is. And there's nothing worse than having a hashtag banned. I was banned for the majority of the pandemic, and I finally got my shit back like a few months ago, and it's hard. It's hard to be stagnant when everybody and their mother is finally on social media and you just can't do anything about it. So stay strong. Okay. This is why the values are important. This is why, once again, the community is important. And this is why you can't be careless with your content. It's important for you to be thoughtful with what you're putting out there because it's going to come back to you. Your kids are eventually going to be 18 and they're going to get on Instagram and they're going to look back at the Buds and Bloom hashtag and be like, what was mom doing? So be mindful of that as well. Okay. Do you go over what's allowed and what isn't in my guide? I do briefly go over that, but Laura, I'm glad you brought this up. I had to change this part more than once because the algorithm is crazy and Instagram likes to just keep us on our toes. So all of you creators and brands actually that are watching today, follow at creators. It's the Instagram creators Instagram page, and they give you all the updates, all their new releases, all the trends, so that you are on the forefront of knowing what's allowed and what isn't. You can also look online too. There are Instagram will also prompt you. So you can go to your community status and you can go to community guidelines and you can look through. One day I was just curious. So I went through my settings and I went through every single thing. And you'd be surprised on so many settings are on there. You can create frequently asked questions up to 4 on your page. So when people DM you, there's an automated response. You can also remove words. So if you don't want certain DMs in your DMs, like buying followers, you'll get lots of those once you become a content creator. Then you can block those as well. So go through get familiarized with Instagram. I doubt any of us has done a fine tooth comb, like it has some freaking lice in it. Go through it, comb that shit through, and get every detail so that you know Instagram like the back of your hand, and you know those community guidelines. They don't want us showing flower. If you saw in my stories yesterday, I posted a picture of Pure Beauty, but you can't even tell what's in it. They don't want to see flower. They don't want to see you smoking it. Yes, it's mind-boggling that Snoop can smoke a million joints in his page and never get deleted. It is what it is. I don't know how they decide who gets away with what the fuck they get away with, but they have their favorites. They play favorites. Let's just be real. I also have a theory. And this is nothing against those accounts that with the blue check marks, because I follow a lot of them and I have a little bit of trash and sass in me too. However, I feel like a lot of the blue check marks are the ones that are feeding into the stigma of our industry a little bit. They take those copious dabs and those other things. And if you're a big dabber, that's fine. That's totally fine. But when we're trying to break the stigma and we're taking like giant dabs the size of a quarter, that's not normalizing cannabis. Now, if you are a party account, rockstar girl, go at it, have fun, take your 10-gram dabs and have a blast. But if you are really here for the health and wellness part of it, you are not going to be doing that stuff, because we already know how much high concentrate cannabinoids really affect our brains in ways that we are barely scratching the surface of. So party every once in a while, that's fine. It's just like if we took shots all day, every day, big ass shots, drank bottles of alcohol, eventually it would catch up to us. Now, there's a difference if you need it medicinally versus recreationally versus lifestyle. Okay. Let's just all be very clear. I'm not knocking anybody, but let's just be mindful of who has those blue check marks. And it's not a surprise sometimes, because it just feeds into the society. I have yet to find, I think Cannasexual might be the only one I can think of that is a wellness page in our industry that is verified, because other than that, good luck. So just keep your eyes open. Don't put your self-worth on the number of views. Don't put your self-worth on the check mark. Don't put your self-worth on how fast you are growing. I did this in the beginning and I didn't show my face, and I considered even being a private account because it didn't matter. I wasn't there for the grandiosity of it all. I was there because even if I've helped one mom out, that was better than me sitting at home and not saying a damn thing. I want to tell my kids that I did what I could to advocate for their future. And I hope that you are all inspired to do the same today. So on that note, before I get too sad and probably end up accidentally pissing people off, I will close it for everybody today. If you have any questions, just let me know. We haven't even got a chance to scratch the surface with red flags. Listen, really quickly with the red flags, set boundaries and trust your gut. Okay. Cannabis is a tool that sharpens our intuition. So if something doesn't feel right, remember it probably isn't. And ignoring the red flags because you want to see the good in people will always cost you in the end. I made that mistake dozens of times, dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of times. I just had to follow my gut, and I did, and it led me to Tokeativity, and I'm so glad that I'm here. So happy 420. I will see you all on the main stage. I cannot wait to smoke a Moose Labs bowl. See? Ta-ta-ta. All those little things that I've made a conscious effort so that when my kids later on in life see me online, I go, I know I did smoke a lot of weed, but I did what I could to make it safe as possible. Oh my gosh, Amanda, you're still in here. Well, I'm going to have a baby heart attack knowing that now. Okay. And remember, you're always going to have goofy fangirl moments. I made an ass out of myself in front of Nagaya this week. Oh, I hope I meet him again and like save face. But listen, we're all doing the best. We all don't know what the hell we're doing. Let us all do it together. All right. Bye, everyone. I love you all. Bye, Kim. I know, Amanda. Oh gosh. Bye, Lee. Bye, everyone. And Desiree, thanks for being the best co-host.